there's obviously a tremendous amount of political, a lot of cynicism out there about politics. And I, sadly, am having to report that already, that those of us who supported the Maha movement, the Make America Great, Make America Healthy Again movement, embodied by Donald Trump and RFK Sr. Junior, sorry, have already been betrayed. How is that possible? RFK's not even, his nomination hasn't even been rejected or confirmed yet. He hasn't had a chance to sell everybody out. But he expressly was talking about how we're going to get processed foods out of there. One of the biggest culprits, of course, as everybody knows this, is seed oil. Sunflower seeds, any type of seeds, oil is not good for you. And anybody who is involved in the Maha movement knows this.
It's a foundational plank of Maha.
It's kind of been all they've been thinking about.
Olive oil, ghee, I think it's called, like that, the butter, or maybe coconut oil. But seed oil, this is the bad stuff.
Yeah, I'm an olive oil guy.
And of course, also, one of the things that we know, those of us who are part of the Maha movement, not just MAGA, but Maha, also, we still believe in draining the swamp. And so, sadly, Anna Matson, market researcher and Maha influencer, had this to report, and it's upsetting. Here it is.
Rick Rollins is Trump's pick for Secretary of Agriculture. Can't get the chemicals out of our food and water unless we have the support of the Agriculture Department. So unless she's on board, we can't make America healthy again. And whoever is in Trump's ear about agriculture, they need to be fired immediately. Rick Rollins is already a disappointment when we had someone like Thomas Massey who could have rocked this department. Now they want Kaylee Buller as Chief of Staff for Agriculture. No, absolutely not. We are not going to let this happen. Do you want to know who she is? She is the president and CEO of the National Oilseed Processors Association. She is a lobbyist advocating for seed oils. This not only goes against the Maha movement, this goes against Trump's own agenda. You cannot say you want to drain the swamp, but then fill your new administration with lobbyists.
Pause it for a second. Okay.
Oh boy.
Somebody did not get the memo that you can say you are for draining the swamp and then fill your administration with lobbyists.
Yeah, watch me.
I would, for example, the year 2016, or I should say 2017, you should check out who was in his last cabinet in terms of draining the swamp and how much that happened. I mean, things got a little bit swampy in there. Go ahead, go back a little bit.
Goes against Trump's own agenda. You cannot say you want to drain the swamp, but then fill your new administration with lobbyists. I am begging you to please make noise about this so we can get rid of her, just like we got rid of Jeffrey Hall within a matter of hours. Tag the president and let him know we are trying to drain the swamp and make America healthy, not fill the swamp. Thank you so much for your help, and this is how we are going to make real change.
I mean, first of all, I appreciate that she is, like performing activism,
sensitive to it, yeah,
and been there, dealt with that level of frustration. We shall see. I have a feeling there's going to be a bunch of things that some of these people find out, and it's going to be interesting because even 8 years ago, the ability for people to communicate what was going on politically was still even less than it is today, right? Like, I can't remember exactly. Instagram and Facebook were not like, they were more like old people things. Young people have access to stuff like TikTok and, to the extent that it's going to be around. And it's going to be interesting to see if there's more accountability for Trump because you have so many different people. Like, for instance, earlier we talked about, like, I've got so many, we get so many stories coming at us. It's like drinking from a fire hose. But there are a cadre of people out there who are going to hold Trump to account for hiring a seed oil lobbyist.
Yeah, split him.
So good stuff.
It's crazy, these sorts of things. Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary guy, literally worked for Soros a couple of times as a hedge fund guy.
Right.
And Trump's just like,
Jeff Bezos came, Bill Gates came, Mark Zuckerberg came.
And
now, come on, this is gross. This is all about Trump's cookie party when they're in that weird circle jerk thing. I don't want to hear about that.
Jeff Bezos came.
Stop it. Jeez.
Everybody's coming.
Gates came. Mark Zuckerberg came. Many of them came numerous times. The bankers have all come. Everybody's coming.
numerous times.
And of course, Stephen Miller ate the cookie. Little Stephen ate the cookie. He's the one who gets the cookie. Yeah, we
Whoever
gave him
asked
the
him that
cookie.
question.
We gave him the cookie.
great setup.
We gave him the cookie. We gave him the cookie. He wanted it.
Who's all come here, Mr. Trump?
He's wanted it. He wanted the cookie, so.
I can't even look at you right now.
You are having an emotional breakdown right now.
Talk about seed oil.
See, oh.
Oh, come on now, me.
There you go. Stephen didn't like that joke. He'll still eat the cookie, though. Eat the cookie. Eat the cookie.
You got to skeet about this on Blue Sky.
Hey, folks, once again, Trump's personnel picks are all about loyalty over expertise. He named election denier Kari Lake to lead the Voice of America. That's the U.S.-funded broadcaster meant to provide unbiased news to global audiences. Well, Ground News found hundreds of articles covering this, all concerned about VOA's editorial independence. But you'll still find the America First crowd arguing that this appointment will, quote, restore balance and fairness. Yeah. In reality, we're losing independent journalism and government transparency, setting the stage for propaganda masquerading as credible information. That's why I've trusted my partners at Ground News for years to help me critically analyze the news I consume. They're the only app that's not telling you what to think. Instead, they gather all the headlines, organize them by story, and then add data to each outlet's bias, their credibility, and their financial incentives so you know exactly who's benefiting from the spin. Take it one step further and filter out questionable sources to stay on top of what's happening without getting buried in the noise. Trump is shaping our future in ways that's going to last for decades, and if we're not paying attention, we're letting history repeat itself. So stay engaged with Ground News, who's fixing what's breaking right in front of us. Trust and transparency in the media. My viewers save 50% on the same unlimited access Vantage plans that I use every day to track these stories and prep for my show. So go to ground.news/majority or scan my QR code to subscribe. Once you start reading the news this way, it's going to be very hard to go back. Hey folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.